Alright, Path of Exile 2 is amazing. There's not too much more I can say about that, absolute fact. But what I do want to talk about is WASD controls. It was a bit of a difficult learning curve. I am pretty much an ARPG expert. I've been playing since Diablo 1, and the click move has always been how I played. I've never really played an ARPG with this type of move schematic, so it took me a very long time to get used to, and I had to change a lot of things. When I'm using WASD, I can't use Q, E, R, T, 1, 2, 3, 4. I just can't do it. I can't be running up and over and then somehow hit the 1 key. I just can't do it. So none of those keys can be used. So for this skill, I had to put onto shift, which is right where my left pinky sits for Frostbomb. Right where my left pinky sits. My thumb button on my mouse is for the roll. My middle button is for my sun. And then my right trigger is for this guy. And then my space bar is for a potion. And that is the most amount of skills I can use with this. I would have to buy foot controllers so I can use my feet to control the, to have more buttons to push, because my hands, I just can't handle any more skills than that. So I am definitely going to try out a controller today. I've never played Path of Exile with a controller, but the way this feels with WASD, I think a controller might be the ultimate input platform for this game. Now, a couple tips and tricks for AWSD. When you have a skill that you can cast while walking, you don't want to hold the button. Let's watch my move speed. Hold the button. Look how slow I'm going as I'm casting. Sure, I'm casting a little bit faster, but I'm walking slow as shit. Right, so you don't want to do that. What you want to do is you kind of want to give it a tap. If you tap it, you walk a lot faster. You can kind of just walk and tap, walk and tap. And if you have a skill like the one I'm using here with Unleash support, you can just kind of run, hit the Unleash support, and you can be pretty quick with it. You just let the Unleash hit its 3, or you can even do a double cast real quick to get 4 shots with it. This skill is really nice, but it's kind of awkward to use because you want to do, as soon as you're done casting with it, and this is the Ember Fulisade. I don't know exactly how to say that. I've never even heard of that word. Probably a made-up DGG word. But if you cast it, you have 4 up, and then you hit a cast again, it will delay the release of the buttons in perpetuity. Like, it will never cast if you keep hitting it. So it is a skill you want to use other skills with. You charge this up, and then you cast that and a frost bomb and whatever else you have to cast. So you want to use this with multiple skills. And it's really good for traveling. And with AWSD, it's been a dream. It's been a lot of fun just running around, throwing these balls out, let my minions kind of distract. My minions aren't my damage dealers, really. It's mostly just for distraction. And I've been having a blast with it. Boss have been pretty easy. I've probably... Oh, I wonder if they have a death. I think I've died like 10 times. Most of them have been just me trying to learn AWSD, or 18 times. Okay, a lot more than 10. But I think I've probably died 10 times to bosses and probably 8 times in the open world. And I'm not going for not dying. That's not my objective. My objective is to have fun and use some of these new mechanics. But mostly, I am a time mage who is going to be using Hammer of the Gods. So everything I'm doing on my skill tree is I'm just doing until I get Hammer of the Gods, right? I'm going to come over here and just get some fire damage or whatever. I got some minion stuff. And I'm going to switch to Hammer of the Gods. I'm going to rework this entire thing. So this is all just temporary, right? None of this is in-game. But I want to start with enemies in your presence are slowed by 20% because playing some of these bosses, they kind of chase you down, right? There was one boss with the chick in the cage. She's like, run! And you have to run away from the boss for a little bit. And having that boss been 20% slowed would have been nice. That was before I ascended. And this 20% slowed enemies in my presence, it makes it so I am very much in control of my positioning and whether or not I choose to get hit by enemies. Because if I'm getting hit by enemies, it's 100% my choice. But if I wanted to play cautiously with this extra 20% slow, I just run around these fools and they can't do nothing about it. I throw my sun on them, I charge up this bad boy. I'm not doing a lot of damage, but it's safe damage and it's getting the job done. And it kind of seems like it's working with my minions. And one of the reasons it's working with these minions is not so much that the minions are doing any damage, But what the minions do is allow me to use a support gem that's new. I still gotta learn where the stuff is. Called Minion Pact. Supported skills remove 100% of maximum life from a nearby minion to deal 40% more damage. Now, 40% more damage on basically any skill is a really high damage multiplier for a support gem. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty bonkers. And I mean, yeah. So that's giving my sun ball here 40% more damage and increased area of effect. I like it a lot. This has been a tremendous experience. The game is really good, and AWSD is now how I play the game. It has replaced my click move strategy. The one problem, as I already mentioned, is I am limited to 3 skills, and that's it. I can't use this with any more than 3 skills, unless you count the roll as a skill. Then it's 4. So that is all I can use this with. You watch this guy try to front with me. Come on, you can follow me. Let's do this. See him chasing me? They ain't got shit. Fucking losers.
Didn't break a sweat.
And they just can't do nothing. And with that 20% slow, it's great. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. I'm having a blast. Damage, super low, but you know what? It's more fun with less damage. It's like driving a Miata versus a Porsche. Miata's not going to go super fast, but it's a lot more fun because you can rev out the gears harder and you're not going to jail. But when you have your Porsche and you rev out the gears, all of a sudden you're doing 140 miles an hour and then you're straight through jail. So this is a lot like or, you know, the Tokyo Drift car. Not Tokyo Drift. You know what? I'm done with my car metaphors. You guys know what I'm talking about. Because I'm doing less damage, I'm doing more playing, and I'm using more mechanics. And with AWSD, it's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast. It's giving me a bit of Diablo 3 feel in the best possible ways. As much as you might hate Diablo 3, it had a lot of really fun game mechanics to it, and it's feeling a lot like doing like a greater rift. Almost every one of these maps has a bit of tension to it, which is really nice to have that tension. I mean, I'm not dying. The tension isn't from me dying. The tension kind of exists because these enemies aren't dying. In Path of Exile 1, I've gotten so good at the game that all the enemies just die in a blip, so I never really have to engage with them very much. For this one, they're not dying with the blip. And I'm really liking the fact that I'm not playing a minion build, but I have minions. Having minions is a lot of fun, but playing a minion build is not a lot of fun. Because I could actually do my own casting and my own damage myself, and it's pretty great. And the minions are helping me fuel that. And this skill is also really good for summon raging spirits, because you can charge up 8 of these bad boys. Now you have 8 summoning spirits. And they just go to town wrecking shit. And eventually I'm imagining this is going to give me up to 10, so I'll be able to do 10 really quick casts with this. Get 10 shots out, and even if they hit a wall, I'm giving them summon raging spirits, which is pretty dope. So AWSD, super good. I'm gonna try out controls later. I will check you guys later. Enjoy Path of Exile 2. It's fantastic.